with its beautiful aesthetic, signaling the human eye as a messenger of nature. The fall is around the corner. It is time to harvest. Take a break, but yet not fully relaxed. There's still some sewing to do. Hello friends, welcome back. Today I have two options. The option of this guy here, my friend Stacy gifted to me. Shout out to Stacy. It's a transformative rock. Forgot its name. Shiva. Something with Shiva Eye or something like that. And we have a rose quartz. This also was gifted to me a while ago when I first started getting into crystals. So we have two options, and I have a special plant here. This is from an olive leaf branch. So I got it from Loreto, Mexico, and it comes from a very ancient tree. This is the first olive tree planted in the Americas in the Mission of San Francisco de Javier, Loreto, which I super recommend visiting that place. So with that said, let's get smudge here. And I hope that you did some wet work. And if you didn't go through my meditation to ground yourself, you can pause if you need to and take a moment to feel what option you feel more resonates more with you. Also, just want to show you the decks. Some people like knowing what decks I'm working with, and if you're interested in using cartomancy cards to further your healing, it's a great tool. Highly recommend. So this is the Earth Crafter Tarot. Beautiful, one of my favorite plant decks, and Tarot Osho Zen. And we have the Botanical Inspirations, more like Oracle, and Intuiti, creative cards, Italian made. So they're pretty cool. They're very different. So there you go. And if you're ready, let's go with the first option of the Eye of Shiva. Here you go. Let's begin. Again, we are working on what's blocking our creativity. That flow of life can be what is that blockage? Where do we need to focus our energy to kind of like remove ourselves from the ego dominating us, like that harmful ego, right? Because ego, it's important. It's part of who we are, and it's part of our being. It's part of like our deal to be human. We cannot get rid of ego. We need to live with it. It's a compass to life. Help us have a good, when you have a healthy ego, help us make good choices that are more close to our spirit, to our mission in life. But when we don't have a healthy ego, when we haven't really connected with our density, it's kind of take us somewhere else. And so let's see what is the card advices regarding I'm just gonna leave those two. How to unblock more of our flow of life in order to be more with our creative energy, or more in a state of flow and love and goodness. And we're gonna get an intuitive card here. Sometimes I already have them. I have shuffled them and already picked them, but this time I felt like just shuffling in front of you guys because that's how I felt. So, but if you like it better when I shuffle them in front of you guys, I can totally do that more often. Just leave your comment. It's important that you leave feedback so I can know what you guys prefer and stuff. All right, let's begin our reading. So I feel called to start with the Herb Crafter's Tarot, and it says Six of Fires, which is nasturtium. This is a beautiful flower that's edible actually, and you can put in your salads. It's very aesthetically, it can put that aesthetic element to your food, make it more sensual. Anyway, that's what first comes, is like sensuality, and I think it's because I'm picking on the colors that are very like root chakra, like root chakra, sacral chakra, plexus. So the lower chakras, and the sixth, and it's a fire. This is a fire energy we're dealing here. So you might have some strong fire in your chart, sun, moon, or rising, or you can also it's asking you to tap into more of your work more with your lower chakras, like wear this colors, wear combination of red and yellows and oranges, and maybe add some green to it to kind of have that contrast of tones. It's asking to work with fire energy, light up candles when you go to take a bath, or doing some fire ritual with a bonfire. I'm seeing a bunny right now outside my window. I just like to put attention to what's going on around my environment when I'm doing readings, but because that's like life and nature talking to us, like, hey, put attention to this. So yeah, I think be more childlike, more innocent, more playful. Fire can be also very playful. So I'm thinking about an Aries right now. And Six of Wands speaks about victories. It speaks about maybe you have something on a target and you want to go get it. You're just you have made a decision about something and you feel victorious. You feel like you're going to be victorious, and I think that's possible because fire energy is really direct and bold. It also talks about celebrate yourself and others, call the circle, make some magic with fire, maybe some art, glitter, and spicing and spices cinnamon or paprika or cayenne. Use some of those spices to kind of as a magic. It's magic that you can do through your food, right? To magnify power and joy. So yeah, this will increase the energy and the strength. Also, this flower talks about creativity, you know, like talking about the ego. And I feel like some of you, your creativity might be in a block. There's like two groups I'm gonna be talking to. Some of you're like blocked, and it's asking you to focus in the lower chakras. And some of you like might be already, you know, in a state of flow, meaning you have your fire going on. And what this flower is asking is to claim your place as a community leader. Gather circles, creativity ignites creativity. And this flowers blooms in many colors. So let your personal flair shine. Maybe like dance to your own beat while dancing in harmony with others. You know, it's talking about community, taking lead. And I'm thinking about a way to flow is through community. Gathering, again, do something that's going to put you in a leading position. Again, that's a very root chakra kind of vibe, you know. So let's go with our, I feel like I'm going to leave this at the end with intuiti. Intuiti, the number 303. I feel like the first thing that this message calls me is like this pyramids of like, it's kind of like, again, this color, you know, like it's asking you to kind of stand out in a way, maybe like where you can like shine your light. Maybe you're like a Leo. Maybe you have a Venus Leo or a Moon Leo, and Leos usually like they like to be the center of attention. And the good Leos, they're leaders, and they have so much love. They have so much light to that their mission is to share their light with others, to empower others. So that's why they're like the king of the jungle. That's why Leos like to be center of attention, because they have something to give, you know. And if you're the kind of Leo, know that sometimes Leo, can be misunderstood because they might seem like cocky or too pretentious or anything. But if you're Leo and you haven't worked your density or darkness, you might come out like more like that, unless you're a leader that empowers others. You know, like what are you doing with your power, with what you have in hands? So again, a way to kind of open that flow of life and kind of step away from that, or not step away, but heal the ego more. Like the toxic ego is through, you know, shine light into others, you know, in a humble way, and you know, in a down to earth kind of way. So it's kind of like the green also is like, hey, you know, like a way you can also balance it is with green. I think that's what this card was also telling me, that, you know, like use some green to kind of like ground yourself. You know, sometimes when you're too much in the fire energy, kind of unground yourself, and when you're too much in the air energy. So keep in mind about others, you know, around you, help shine. But the message specifically of this card is talking about wait, I don't know Italian, so I cannot read it in Italian. So I want to read specifically what this card says, because it has specific messages. And it's a number 7. So 7 it's a spiritual number, yes, but it's also kind of like a solo number. it's powerful, interesting, a powerful feline with such a royal coat. He governs a kingdom without rebels. He runs freely in the wood without ever getting muddy. Standing on his back feet, he delivers speeches without ever roaring. A completely human beast, an incredibly beastly man. At first, solve the most evident problems. That's so interesting because the message is talking about a lion, and we're just like talking about lion. We're talking about, fire energy, just how incredibly, it's connected. That's like the message, guys. I'm not lying to you. It's here. It says, the powerful feline. Anyway, that's why I like cards. Let's go ahead with Ascend. Came out 2, so I'm gonna respect that. There you go. There's another. Oh, 2 more felines. There you go. Oof. We have a strong fire energy here. Strong, like Leo here. We have strong Leos for sure in Aries. Might have some Taurus too with some strong fire energy. You might have some, I'm sensing like earth signs with a mix of fire. Some of you are going through a phase of kind of like, fuck this, I'm gonna roar. You're igniting your fire. You're just like, I'm not gonna let no one step on my power. Don't care if it's my best friend, don't care if it's my sister, don't care if it's my mama, don't care. I'm gonna reborn, reignite my fire, and whoever is, resonates to my energy, my spirit, will come along the journey. Be careful of the ego again. It might feel, it feels good. It feels good to be in this energy, like I'm just like, look at this color. I feel like I chose this color for you guys somehow. Rebirth. Yeah, there's like this rekindling, again, a way to unblock and go with life and with ease is to be true to yourself, connect with your power. What is that what you want? What is that what you most desire, and like your heart. This is very heart, like heart matters. This is lion, the Leo, it's pure heart, because whatever you're gonna whatever your heart's desire, it's gonna make you feel success. This is 6 of Wands in Zen Tarot. In Tarot, this is 6 of Wands, and this is 6 of Fire. So it's the same cards, just in different deck. In the regular Rider's Way, it's a person celebrating. There's like 6 stick, meaning celebration. Oh my gosh, I have like so much, like I just feel a lot of energy and like goodness for you guys. It's like a good times for you guys. Good times, baby. Yeah, stay humble, stay down to earth. Look at that earth. It's telling you like balance yourself by connecting with nature, okay? Celebrate by, taming that beast. So this person is taming the ego, like our fire, our energy, the part of it, the ego, learning to tame the ego, so you can turn it into a beautiful beast that can take you around the world, like acting like a true queen, true king that you are, like your own empowerment, and celebrate your life how it should really be, But there's work to do. For some of you, there's really some work to do, and it's not easy. But I'll tell you, it's worth it, because once you learn to realize and be like, hey, you know, step aside, detach, and see the bigger picture, why you're put in a position or situations you've been put so far. It's because life just wants to love you and work with you, because you're such a beautiful person, beautiful human, that life wants you to enjoy the world, enjoy your world, create your own world, you know, be the king or queen of your world. And don't let others, you know, reign your world. So let's close this reading with the oracle of the botanic oracle. And it's talking here, the sweet pea, blissful pleasure. Follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors where they were only walls. Joseph Campbell. I love Joseph Campbell. If you know, Joseph Campbell talks about the author of the hero's journey, something like that. But actually, the hero's journey it has to do a lot with the fool's journey, which the fool's journey is the story that the tarot tells. Yeah, Joseph Campbell. I really like that guy. Not a lot of there's a lot of people that don't like him, but I do. Why? Because he really knows well how to, you know, put tells and narrates the story of like the journey of the spirit, you know, like the journey, like the path of spirit and its evolution through the hero's journey. Actually, George Lucas, he was inspired by Joseph Campbell to make Star Wars, you know, after he so anyway, kind of derail a little bit from the message, but I'm like super excited and just pumped from what I'm seeing here, because it's like so magical and awesome. The inspirational message of the sweet pea says, invite spirit into your life by simply allowing yourself to be inspired. Spend your energy on your creative passions and you will find bliss. I feel like the word bliss, inspiration, passion, you know, like tapping into your leader energy. How? By doing things in the community, by working with your creativity, by doing some good food using spices, by doing a ritual, by wearing colors that are associated with the lower chakras, by, you know, what ignites you, what makes you feel like on fire, you know, listen to music, I don't know. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for being here. Leave a comment, message me if you want a private consultation, and I will see you some other time. Blessings. Okay, you guys, what's going on here, rose quartz? For those who chose number 2, rose quartz, we really need to focus in the heart. Come on. Some compassion, work on some compassion. I had some technical issues here, and I like to, like I mentioned, always mention in option number 1. I kind of notice what's going on around my environment when I'm doing a reading, when I'm specifically within each option. So anyway, Shikri. Well, my microphone was not working too. I'm feeling the energy of this option is very kind of like skeptical. like in the mind, like let's rationalize the fuck of everything, you know, like some they're not very trustworthy. Maybe you're here and you're just like, oh, let's see what this girl has to say, and that's cool, you know, like I'm not everybody's cup of tea. If you resonate with it, the message that comes out here, cool, and if you don't, find another person. So look at me, I'm even getting a little bit feisty here. Anyway, that's just the energy I'm picking from this card. And the first one that we're working with is Two of Air, Chicory. If you know about tarot, right, in the classic Rider-Waite, it's Two of Tarot, it's Two of Swords, and the swords talk about the mind. Two of Swords, it's first of all numerology. Number two, it's balance, it's making a decision, it's juggling two ideas, you know, because I'm sorry, we need to make a decision, or we're protecting ourselves about something. I feel like with Chicory, actually Chicory this year was it was the first time I met Chicory live. It was just a block away from where I live. This beautiful little like purple flower. I loved it. I just felt like this pull towards Chicory, and I didn't even know. Like I went and I felt like I saw this little flower, because their flowers are very little, but they're very beautiful. They're just like tiny and beautiful and cute, but they're like, they call your attention. So I was pulled into like this plant. I was like, huh, and I grab a piece of it and I analyze it, and I just be with it, and I'm like, oh, I really like this, you know, I really like this feeling. And I don't know what I was going through, to be honest, in that moment, but it made me feel really like, oh, it's gonna be okay, you know. And I took it home and put it in my bedroom. Anyway, very nice flower, very nice, very, it's calming, it's love, it's kind of like telling you it's gonna be okay. So this energy makes me feel like if I was out in nature with this card, I sense like this type of energy that, you know, there's something coming, needs to something happen. There's like, you sense like something's coming your way, and it's a transformation. I'll tell you why, because I see the butterfly here. Butterfly is a sign of transformation. It's beautiful. It's beautiful transformation. Okay, if you let it be. If you resist, for some of you, kind of like resisting. You're just like, I don't really want to. But we have a conjunction to October. Mars is with the sign of with Venus, I think, and then Virgo's coming. So anyway, yeah, I feel a little bit resistant, like, you know, like let's rationalize, let's like put some mind to it, and it's fine. Our mind is beautiful. We need to rationalize things sometimes, and we need to use that masculine part of it. But right now, life is asking you to step aside from your rationale and let life flow. And let's find out how can we do that with our next card. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Going with the flow. I was just asking. I was just telling you, like, really, life wants you to chillax, man. You know, just like, just for once, let yourself like kind of like flow with life. But how do we do that? How can I do that, right? So that's why you're here. And based on the cards, and I skipped, I'm gonna go back to the message that Chicory has, because I only intuitive gave you the message, but I'll give you the actual message that Chicory has for you. Okay, now how can we step aside and let life step in, you know. It's kind of like, what's that say, let go, let God in, or something. Let go and let God in, you know. Let go and let life in. How can we do that? You know, like, how can we just step aside for a moment and let ourselves be in the flow, be just relax? And that's easy to say, but it's actually really hard to do. I'm sensing some water, so maybe you just like work with water element. Go in a floating session, if you like. Just float session if you're not claustrophobic. If you're claustrophobic, I don't recommend it. But also you can get out of your comfort zone and try your fears, challenge your fears. Work with water, get a massage, get Reiki. I do Reiki outdoors if you like that. Let's see, but I'm gonna go back to Shikari because I want to give you the message. Shikari is messages: release long-held beliefs, be receptive to guidance, open to unlikely partnerships. And it talks about old ideas, how can be blinders to new wisdom. When we let go of worn out thinking to see an issue clearly, Shikari is often classified as a weed. And when I first discovered weed was in a walking meditation, and there's surrounded by a bunch of weeds. What is weed nowadays, right? However, it's beneficial medicine plant that draws important insects to the garden. It says, be receptive to new guidance. Gather information before you take action. Then be still and look within. So yes, some of you might be very like air, or have a strong air. Maybe you have like Mercury in Gemini, you know, which is its home, it's its placement. Maybe I'm sensing some like air, like earth with air, or very, very earthy person, you know, very earthy, and you like your stability, your slow pace, you know, your own pace. You like to do your research. You like to make sure you know what you're doing, and that's great. That's great. However, sometimes we need to relax, and life right now is telling you, hey, you want to heal this part of you, you want to feel more at ease, let me handle it. Give me your fears, give me your challenges, give it to God, you know. Just and if it's hard, you're like, oh, how am I gonna give it to God? I don't need to fucking believe in God or something like that. Just like try for once at least, like being in a prayer and being in a meditative state where you can say, just tell yourself, you know, like I'm God, whoever, you know, like nature, you know, give it to nature. Like, I'm gonna give you my stress, I'm gonna give you my you know, like my problems, go solve it, you know. Just like the energy of, you know, if you think of your problems, or you think of that problem and visualize like a color to it, or like a feeling to it, and be with that feeling and give it to the air, to nature, or whoever you believe in. This is just like a practice, right? It says, so yeah, you know, so new information, be still and look within. And sometimes maybe you have like existential, like I feel like you might have some existential like questions to, like, well, what is really true, you know, like, and it says that the message is telling to acknowledge what you do not want to accept, then be willing to listen. And when it's your turn to share, do not hide behind a closed, fearful heart. Open wide like a bullshit flower. Again, the message is release long-held beliefs, be receptive to guidance, open to unlikely partnerships. All right. Interesting. Let's go with the next card. What's intuitive? Look at this. This is very ear. Some of you guys need to just be more in the body, do more like breath work, body work, where you can sense your body. Be less in the upper part of the chakra and be more in the body. It's interesting because option 1 was all about lower chakras, and this is the opposite. It's actually, and it's 11. And 11 is talking about, like, it's a master number, numerology, and it's, for some of you, it's time, you're maybe going through an awakening. It is, again, it's a master number, and it's in the spiritual awakening. Life is real. For some of you, it's like going through really strong, like maybe your first spiritual awakening, you're like, what the fuck is going on? And you're really like in your mind, you're like trying to rationalize something that you can't really rationalize because it needs to be felt. And if the more you're in the mind, the more it's gonna be hard, and the more life is gonna take you down, you know. And for some of you, this might be something that just happened in your life that really woke you up and just like broke your heart, or like a failed business, or friendship, connection, whatever. They're just like really like life is really asking you to just like let go. Anyway, I feel like your third chakra, for some of you, might be opening. And this is great news because some of you are really like saying, okay, I'm gonna release, let God. I still can't remember how it goes. Anyway, let God handle, you know. Jesus, take the wheel. I love that. So it's like, I feel like this is like the third eye, you know, like, and some like, and also like the spirit kind of like having this big bang, you know, and it's this new life happening. You're like kind of blooming, right? And spirit also talks about like some of you might be really taking the leap to go into the depths of your waters, your psyche waters. That's awesome. But some of you like really are kind of resisting because like I said, it's a new thing, it's a new sensation happening in your life, and you're like, oh, I want an explanation for this, and Wikipedia probably not gonna help. You have the answer. You have everything you need within. We just need to, and it's okay to, if you need to get help from others, do it. Okay, so you're not the first one who's going through this. And it's not the first or the last awakening you'll have, I'll tell you that. Anyways, to close our relationship, oh my gosh, yeah, some of you just, your spiritual awakening was triggered by a relationship. Okay, apple blossoms, choices, knowledge, and illumination. White are the flowers of apple tree that bring us fruits of fertility. Oh, this is really beautiful. I feel like I have to say congrats. Well, congrats, you're going through your first spiritual awakening, or congrats, you know, like, good for you for letting yourself go through this and open yourself to what's going on. And again, for those people, I think it's just like small group of people who are just like really like embracing, like, okay, I'm just gonna step aside from my rational mind and just like, I'm just gonna give it a try, fuck it, you know. And for those, it will come. I mean, for those who are still resisting to kind of like this, maybe you're like against, you're not really like open to woo-woo and that kind of stuff and the spirituality, and you're like, oh. But if you're here, it's because you kind of like curious about it, and you're like, what if? So the transformation's gonna come sooner or later. And the spiritual message for this oracle talks about like the apple blossom brings the gift of illumination. Once you have opened your eyes and your heart to the real abundance all around you, you free yourself from illusion that you're lacking for anything. I like what it says, the little, like the story about how talks about the apple itself is an eternal symbol of abundance, prosperity, and generosity. And how the ancient Celts believe that the apple blossom was a sign of fertility, and they offer it as a gift of love, you know. And in the language of flowers, which is kind of like a language that lovers communicate, is the apple blossom. It's kind of like the apple blossom is designated preference, the latest choice of one suitors over another. So the apple tree and its blossoms also represents gateway to other worlds of knowledge, illumination, and magic. For some of you, like, it's meaning like you're opening up yourself to a spirit, you know. Maybe this is your first time you're having like a pick a card reading, you know, and that's great. So it opens up our awareness to always having choices. And the two, again, like, it's making choices. Some of you really need to make a choice about something. And the two of air, again, it's making a choice. If you see here, like the colors, they're very kind of like, I feel like relaxing, like light blues, like hues of blues, you know. And the throat chakra too, but mostly like upper, you know, crown chakra, pineal gland area. So yeah, I hope you like this message. Leave a comment if you feel like and share, and if you want a private reading, let me know. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Much love and blessings.